Good morning. Yesterday we talked about your syllabus and distribution of syllabus. As I told, I am going to teach you paper number 12, quantum mechanics. Various fundamentals or basic concepts that we are going to use in quantum mechanics are different from those we used in general mechanics or classical mechanics. First chapter is completely theoretical, some part is mathematical, but for this online teaching I have chosen second unit as the first chapter to teach you, because I may write the things on the board, mathematical equations and derivations, and can explain them. We are not in hurry, okay? We shall do the things one by one, slowly, so that you can get the full time for understanding. Second chapter is about Schrodinger's equation. Unit 2, Schrodinger equation. There are two different forms of Schrodinger's equation. Time-dependent form of Schrodinger equation and time-independent or steady-state form of Schrodinger equation. Today we shall start time-dependent form of Schrodinger equation. I have written the name of the first article here. Schrodinger equation, time-dependent. Schrodinger equation, time-dependent. To start the derivation for Schrodinger equation in time-dependent form, we need the equation for displacement of harmonic motion. But in quantum mechanics we do not use the equation directly as we used in the form in classical or general mechanics. This is because quantum mechanics uses a wave function with a body or a particle in motion. According to quantum mechanics, whenever a particle is in motion, whenever a body is in motion, a wave is always associated with the moving particle or the moving body. And determination of any parameter corresponding to the moving particle, the moving body, is made in the form of the wave function. It means that every particle or every body in motion is always associated with a wave function. The wave function is only describing the motion of the body, the motion of the particle. We may correlate this wave function with displacement of harmonic wave motion. But you know that displacement is a physical quantity. It is measurable physical quantity. It has certain dimensions. It has certain unit. We are correlating this wave function with the displacement of harmonic wave motion. Unlike the displacement of harmonic wave motion, the wave function does not have any dimensions. The wave function does not have any unit. The wave function is not a measurable quantity. Although we correlate the wave function associated with the moving body with the displacement of harmonic wave motion, wave function is unlike to the displacement. Let us write the wave function using the concept of displacement of harmonic motion. For simplicity, let me assume that the harmonic motion is along positive x direction and the wave function psi associated, wave function psi is one alphabet, Greek alphabet, is associated, wave function psi is associated with that harmonic motion, and the wave function associated with this harmonic motion is given by psi is equal to, this symbol is known as psi. This symbol is known as psi. It is wave function. Wave function associated with any body in motion. This psi is given by a into e to the power minus I omega into t minus x divided by d, equation number. Let us see the equation for the wave function. Psi is equal to a to the power minus I omega into t minus x by d. Minus I corresponding to the complex nature. The wave function is complex in nature. To represent complex nature of the wave function, we have used minus I, one thing. Omega t, initial phase of the harmonic motion. When omega is taken inside, it will be omega x by t is time, having the dimensions of time. X is displacement along positive x direction. V is the velocity. And what should be x divided by v? X is distance, v is velocity, distance divided by velocity is time. And therefore, this x by v is also corresponding to time. The time, the instantaneous time when the displacement is x with velocity. And therefore, equation for the wave function correlated with the harmonic wave motion is psi is equal to a to the power minus I omega into in the bracket t minus x divided by. This form of equation for the wave function psi is not appropriate. It is not proper. Let us try to have a convenient form of the wave function. To have convenient form of the wave function, let us start with the term omega in equation 1. And what is omega in equation 1? It is angular displacement or angular frequency, you may call it. Omega is angular frequency, which is given by omega is equal to 2 pi. The angular frequency omega is given by 2 pi nu. 2 pi is a constant, nu is the linear frequency. Let me put this value of omega as 2 pi nu in equation 1 to get the new equation as psi is equal to a to the power minus I 2 pi into in the bracket nu t minus nu into x divided by v, equation number. For omega in equation 1, we have placed there 2 pi nu. Nu is taken inside the bracket, and so we will have the wave function psi is equal to a e to the power minus I 2 pi into in the bracket nu t minus nu x divided by v. Now, Let us go to the second term in the bracket. Nu x by v. You know one general relation for velocity of light. C is equal to nu lambda. In general, we can write V is equal to nu lambda. Velocity of propagation of the harmonic wave is equal to product of its layer frequency and the length. What term we have here? X divided by V. Let us write value of x by v from this. Nu into x divided by v. Let us try to get value of nu by v. So let me transfer this lambda to this side, this v to this side, so that I can write 1 by lambda is equal to nu divided by v, equation number 3. From this general relation, we have 1 by lambda is equal to nu divided by v. Let us put value of nu by v as 1 by lambda in second term of equation 2, so that we may have the wave function psi is equal to a to the power minus I 2 pi nu t minus x divided by lambda, equation number 4. The new equation we have for the wave function psi is this. Psi is equal to a to the power minus I 2 pi into the bracket nu t minus x divided by lambda. We want to express equation 4 in terms of known terms, in terms of the parameters, the quantities which can be easily measured for the moving body, for the body in motion. For that, let me use the equations from quantum mechanics. The equation given by Einstein in quantum mechanics for energy is E is equal to h nu. This is derived from the photoelectric effect. Light travels, propagates in the form of energy packets, in the form of quantas. Energy of this quanta or energy of this energy packet is given by the equation E is equal to h nu. This may further be written as 2 pi divided by 2 pi into h nu. 2 pi appearing in the denominator as well as the numerator, it will get cancelled and we know this h nu again. This is further 2 pi nu into h divided by 2 pi. This h divided by 2 pi is represented by h cross. H cross is always h by 2 pi. Remember. H cross is always h divided by 2 pi. So, let me write the equation for this energy as E is equal to 2 pi nu into h cross, equation number 5. E is equal to 2 pi nu into h cross, equation number 5. Let us come back here to equation 4. If I take this 2 pi inside, I will have 2 pi nu times t. If I take this 2 pi inside, in the first term, I will have 2 pi nu times t. And therefore, from equation 5, I have to get value of 2 pi nu. From equation 5, see what will be value of 2 pi nu? From equation 5, value of this 2 pi nu is 2 pi nu is equal to E divided by h cross, equation number 6. 2 pi nu is equal to E divided by H cross is energy possessed by the particle in motion. It can be found, it can be known, can be measured. H cross is H divided by 2 pi. Planck's constant, it is known, divided by 2 pi, H cross can be known. Okay, so this 2 pi nu is written in terms of E divided by H cross. Similarly, let us make use of another formula from quantum mechanics. P is equal to H divided by lambda. P is equal to H divided by lambda. P is momentum of the particle in motion. H is Planck's constant. Lambda is wavelength of the wave associated with the particle in motion. This may further be written as lambda is equal to H divided by P. This may further be written as lambda is equal to H divided by P, or this may be further two pi by P into H cross. Multiply and divide this by 2 pi, 2 pi. 2 H by 2 pi will become H cross. This 2 pi will left as it is. So lambda is equal to H by P. After multiplying and dividing this by 2 pi will become 2 pi by P into H cross. Come to the second term in equation 2. Take this 2 pi inside, it will be 2 pi nu. 2 pi by, where is it? Here. Take this 2 pi inside, it will be 2 pi by lambda. So from this, let us try to get the value of 2 pi by lambda. Take this lambda to this side, this H by P to this, H cross by P to this side, so that we will further have 2 pi divided by lambda is equal to P divided by H cross, equation number 7. Equation 1 is written in the form of nu and lambda. Nu is linear frequency, lambda is wavelength. Nu and lambda are measurable for the motions particle. Okay, and therefore we want to introduce this nu and lambda in terms of energy and momentum, and in doing so, using equation 4, the energy packet or quanta A is equal to h nu, we got equation number 6 for 2 pi nu is equal to E by H cross. Using one more equation for momentum in quantum mechanics, P is equal to H by lambda, and with a few modifications and manipulations, we got 2 pi by lambda is equal to P divided by H cross. Let us substitute values of 2 pi by lambda from equation 7 and 2 pi nu from equation 6 into equation number 4. And so we may further have psi is equal to A e to the power minus I. This 2 pi nu is taken inside. For this 2 pi nu, I am going to put E by H cross. So it will be E T divided by H cross minus, when this 2 pi is taken inside, it will be 2 pi by lambda, and for this 2 pi by lambda, let me put P by H cross. So it will be minus P by H cross into X. Let me put this further as psi is equal to A into e to the power minus I So we have written equation for the wave function psi associated with a particle in motion by equation number 8. Equation number 8 is just similar to equation number 1 we wrote earlier. What is equation 1? Psi is equal to a to the power minus I omega into the bracket t minus x divided by. This is the equation written for displacement of the harmonic wave motion. Whereas equation 8 is the equation written for the wave function associated with unrestricted particle in motion. Equation 8 is written for the wave function associated with unrestricted particle in motion in terms of energy and momentum. In terms of energy E and momentum P. In quantum mechanics, we are not interested at all in motion of unrestricted particle. Unrestricted particle, free particle. We are not interested in study of motion of a free particle. We are interested in motion of restricted particles. Restricted particles, let us go to the atom of any matter. We know the atom is consisting of nucleus at the center and various electrons equal to number of protons inside the nucleus, revolving around the nucleus inside the atom. All the electrons are in motion. They are moving continuously around the nucleus inside the atom. Depending on their energy, they can revolve around the nucleus inside the atom in any orbit. They may revolve in the first orbit, they may revolve in the second orbit, in the third, fourth, and so on, depending on the atom under consideration and energy possessed by the electron. The electron is free to move around the nucleus inside the atom. It is not allowed to leave the atom. Therefore, although the electron is moving continuously, revolving continuously around the nucleus inside the atom, it is not unrestricted particle. It is not a free particle. It is a bound particle. It is a restricted particle. And we are interested in the study of the bound particle, the study of motion of the bound particles or the restricted particles, just like the motion of electrons inside the atom. When we want to study the motion of restricted particles, as I told, electron is one of the example of the restricted particle in motion. We have to talk of the velocity of the restricted particle. When we take velocity as a reference, the motion can be divided into two categories: a relativistic motion and a non-relativistic motion. Relativistic motion, the motion in which the velocity is approximately equal to velocity of light. It is comparable with velocity of light. Non-relativistic motion, the motion in which the velocity is not comparable with the velocity of light. The velocity is very, very small as compared to velocity of light. Last year you performed photoelectric effect experiment, and in one of the experiment using photocell, you found velocity of electrons for different optical filters. You come to know there what is the range of velocity for electrons, and as you know that velocity is very small as compared to velocity of light, and therefore for bound particles, for restricted particles, the total energy can be taken as sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. In relativistic motion, the formula for total energy is different from the formula for total energy in non-relativistic motion. We shall use the formula for non-relativistic motion for the total energy of bound particles or restricted particles. And in practice, velocity of the bound or restricted particles which are in motion is of course very smaller than velocity of light, and therefore we are bound to use the formula for finding the total energy of the unrestricted particle in motion in accordance with non-relativistic mechanics. And according to this, total energy is a sum of kinetic energy and potential energy, and therefore total energy of the restricted or bound particle is given by total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. If this is E, kinetic energy will be 1/2 m square plus potential energy may be V. This is further 1/2 m square v square divided by m plus v. First term in this equation is multiplied and divided by m. So that we have here 1/2 m square v square divided by m plus v. This v is velocity, this capital V is potential energy, which this is function of position. Okay. What is m into v? M is mass of the bound particle, v is its velocity, product of these two is momentum p, and therefore m square v square is equal to p square. Let us use this in this equation, and so total energy of the bound particle is given by, for this I have to put p square divided by 2m plus v, equation number 9. So for non-relativistic motion of the bound particle, its total energy is simply given by the equation E is equal to p square divided by 2m plus v. That is, total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Multiply equation number 9 from both sides by the equation for wave function psi. If we multiply equation 9 on both sides by the wave function psi, this equation will now become E psi is equal to p square divided by 2m psi plus v psi, equation number 10. This is a general form of Schrödinger equation. This is general form of Schrödinger equation. It is not correct. It is not complete, I mean. This is not complete. Okay. This is general form. And now I have to use the wave function psi. Using the wave function psi, I have to get the value of E psi. I have to get the value of P square by 2m psi. And after getting values of P psi and P square by 2m into psi, from equation number 8, which is equation for the wave function psi associated with the particle in motion, I can get one dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. And after that we shall go for three-dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. We shall do this tomorrow. Thank you.